Hello everybody and welcome to my family. Whoa, that got weird. Okay. Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I'm building a modern family house. That's where that came from, I guess. Anyways, welcome to my family, I guess. Okay, anyways, so I'm not quite sure what I'm actually going to call this. I said modern family house, but that sounds like modern family and that's already a thing and this is not that thing. Anyways, it's actually kind of based off of a house from Parasite, an anime. So in my head I've been calling it the Parasite house, but it's not, no, not really. Anyways, if you're interested in this house, you could download it off of the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. You have to be a family member to do that though. I'm kidding, you don't. Oh wow, we're off to such a great start. Ooh, this is the first thing I'm doing in the morning, so excuse me if I'm like, Oh my goodness. But anyways, so I did kind of base this off of a house from Parasite, like I said, and that is a adult anime and manga. And by adult, I mean it's got a lot of graphic violence stuff, so I know a lot of my subscribers are not adults, so don't watch it if you aren't an adult. Like, it's really cool and all, but it is quite like a lot of graphic violence, so just like a warning there. But yeah, it's honestly a surprise that I like it because I'm definitely not a horror type person. I mean, I do like The Walking Dead, but I don't know. It takes a certain something. Like, I don't really like Game of Thrones because of the violence, that sort of thing. So I don't know, it's kind of hit and miss. Like, I actually have I'm such a nerd about that one manga. Like, I have the entire like printed work of the series, and my boyfriend was really surprised when he saw that. He was not expecting that. Yeah, because we usually just have differing tastes, and that did not seem like something I'd like, but I do. Anyways, so I kind of just like loosely sketched this when I was watching, just because I really liked how the main character's house looked. And so this is supposed to be just kind of Japanese, sort of suburban inspired in general, but it really ended up way too large for that. Excuse me. Sorry, my throat is like deciding to boycott right now. It's like, oh, you started recording? No. That's cute. No. But yeah, so it ended up way too large, and I tried a couple times to like make it smaller. I cut that out though because I just ended up undoing it, but it ruined basically what I wanted it to look like. So it just had to do with proportions of a sketch versus actually what you're allowed to do in The Sims, which is frustrating. But I do like how it turned out, but it's definitely way too big for, I think, an average sort of Japanese home. I mean, I have been to Japan before. I went, oh, so long ago now. I'm getting old. Oh gosh, I guess like 4 years ago? Not sure. But we went to go visit an exchange student that we had who, back in high school. So that was a lot of fun, and she lived in the suburbs, and so I kind of like, you know, saw all the houses and stuff, and it was really fun. So I kind of like was drawing on that memory, but honestly this is pretty loosely based. But here I made sure to add a fence because I have noticed in both my travels and in the Japanese media that I consume that there are a lot of fences around houses, and it actually kind of reminded me of something I had forgotten. I was an exchange student in Hungary, and when I was there, I learned an expression, and I had forgotten the expression. In Hungary, they say that a house isn't complete without a fence, which is kind of crazy. But that's like actually a saying. It's like I could not tell you the like actual Hungarian version of it, but yep, it's a house is not a house without a fence. And so I just kind of imagine somebody's like, quick, build the fence, it's not a house yet. Like, no, but the people are in our lawn, get out, it's not a house yet. That sort of thing. But yeah, I used this wallpaper from Spa Day, and I don't know, I'm a little bit obsessed with this wallpaper, but I try to use a different color than I used before. Like, in my last modern build, I used this wallpaper in black and white. I've also used this wallpaper a lot in the more teal color. So I tried to stick with this blue and sort of gray combination, and then all of the windows, or most of them, are black, and so I really wish they had been navy. That would have been fantastic. But the Sims team doesn't like me that much, so I don't get the things that I want. Okay. That sounded real petty. Nice. Great way to start the day with a heavy dose of pettiness. But here I am starting to decide the interior color, and I wanted to go with a light hardwood floor, and I liked the basketball floor, like how it looked and the shine on it, but it was just too orange. I like this sort of muted color best, but I do end up going with this, like this color, and then this wallpaper here kind of inspired the rest of the house, and then we also have accents of black, so it's a really intense color scheme. Like, it was actually really difficult for me to kind of manage this because we've got all these light tones with the wood and the walls and the sort of pastels in some of the walls, and then we have this really black like trim on stuff, so hopefully I balanced it okay. I'm not sure, but the floor plan for upstairs completely is different than how I originally planned it out. Like, I planned for just like I think 3 bedrooms, and then there ended up being 4 whole bedrooms and an office downstairs, which could potentially be a bedroom, because I think I maybe had planned that one of those bedrooms would actually be an office. I don't know, but this build got away from me a little bit, I think, size-wise, and it just kind of evolved from there. But I love how this kitchen turned out. There is a lot of dead space in the middle, like maybe I could have added a rug, but there was already a rug in both the living room and the dining room, and because you can see from, like, you can see all the way into the living room, it kind of seems like a lot, so I left that out. But yeah, the kitchen also ended up having an interesting color scheme where I used that sort of, would it be a taupe? I guess it's like a beigey metal color, like it's like a gold, but it's not a rose gold, it's not that orange, but it's not tan. I don't know, it's kind of a hard color to describe. You'll see it in a second. I changed the stove to that color. And I ended up using that. I wish we had more of that. We got that in the Cool Kitchen stuff pack, and I would enjoy more. Oh goodness. Oof. I have just woken up. But here you can see I did use some like the black pillars, and that's because the space looked odd, I guess. Maybe it didn't. I don't even remember why I put the pillars there instead of just keeping a archway. I don't know. I forget. But I love this dining room set. I wish, what am I wishing for? Everything for life. I ended up adding a settings. I set the table. There we go, the place settings, and that was a lot of fun. I want to do that for more of my houses because you can kind of pick out the different ones, and I think it's good for like staging a house, and it makes me feel like a realtor that's like about to sell the house, and so you stage it to make it look like it's lived in, and like you set the dining table, that sort of thing. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, you can see here I'm like trying to keep that black color scheme, but also not have it be too much. Also, this rug. I love this rug. Excuse me, I had to burp. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love that rug, but I find it really, really hard to use. Like, I tried using it in there, and it didn't really match the color scheme that I wanted to go for. And then I tried using it in the master bedroom, and I cut out a lot of that footage because it was a lot of me just like scrolling through the different bed options, but I just could not find anything that really went with that sort of muted pink color. So that was a little disappointing. I really wanted to use that somewhere in the house because it is just kind of hard to use. But I ended up going with this rug and then a black one upstairs. Like the master bedroom got away from me. It like completely diverged from the color scheme. So you'll see. It like we were going like kind of like pastels, you know, with like a black accent, and we just like diverged into red, black, and white land. Like, I love that color scheme, but like, I don't know, it grabbed a hold of me and it wouldn't let go, and it was like, I insist that I will be used, and I'm like, okay, okay, I've already tinkered with this for like 10 minutes, fine, we'll just go with that color scheme. That is my internal dialogue. I hope you enjoyed. But yeah, I like how the layout of this living room, I think it's really interesting, and it's pretty realistic. Like, I sort of sectioned off a square of the room for the living room section, and then behind it in this corner is just kind of like a bookshelf and like a potted plant, and I think that's like pretty realistic, you know, like just kind of sometimes there are just spaces that don't really fit quite well in houses, so you just kind of make do. That being said, I did build the house and I have the option to take a remove space, so that is just kind of lazy of me, because usually when there's a space you can't use in the house, you can't really change it, but you know, no, I'm just a genius. You just ignore me, I'm a genius. But yeah, I think this layout is interesting, and I did double check your Sims can move around the dining table. That's important. I forgot to see whether they can use it. Oh my gosh. I am like the worst at play testing my own houses. I'm like, I do half measures. I feel like with all of my builds, I go really like hardcore, you know, lots of like little details. You know, I've had people ask me before, how do you have the patience for that? And apparently how I have the patience for building is I took it all from my patience for playtesting. So I feel it's like a limited resource, my patience. I mean, isn't that true? Isn't patience a limited resource? There's only so much patience you can have. And all of that goes to the building and then to the editing of footage, basically. I love combining these vases with plants. I think it's the best. This one does stick out just a little bit at the bottom, but I tried to change the color of the base of the plant so that it doesn't like, it's not obvious that it's sticking out just a little bit, itty bit from the base. That is an example of another rug I really wanted to use, and I probably will someday. This would have been perfect in my modern pastel apartment. That would have been the best rug. I didn't have that then because that came in the fitness stuff pack, but I tried using it. I ended up just picking a different swatch, but this office ended up looking really chic and I enjoyed it. And I think this office does a better job of, I mean, I guess it doesn't really have any pastels, so just kind of like black and like white, but you know. I hope the windows being different colors doesn't bug some people, because it kind of bugs me a little bit. Like, I don't know, it's difficult. I wish you could decide what the interior window color looked like as opposed to the outside, because then I wouldn't be worried about trying to match this like black windows to the inside like at all. But there's that color. What is that color? It's like a light tan beige metal. Like, that's an interesting one. Like, if it wasn't a metal, I would just call it tan, but like it's all shiny and so it's not really tan. But yeah, that corner of the kitchen, not the one I'm working on now, the one with the coffee pot, ended up really dark, and I'm not quite sure why. I went back and tried to add some lighting underneath the cabinets, and it just didn't really help, and so I don't really know why The Sims does what it does. Maybe something to do with the arches, maybe, because having archways can really mess with the lighting in this game. Like, oof, it like goes really crazy. Like, it's either way too dark, but usually it's just like really, really bright, and it takes that sort of yellow color that The Sims like lighting naturally is, and it like makes it so much worse. Like, oh my gosh, I hate that the base coloring in this game is like absolutely yellow. Like, I'm glad it's not like the like really bright fluorescent color, but I always go back and I change it to so it's like less intense. Also, sorry that the camera keeps like going off in the distance. Sometimes when I do press the 9 or the 10 key, or 9 or the 10, there's no 10 key. There's no 10 key on any keyboard. Oh my gosh, the 9 or the 0 key to move objects up and down. Sometimes I'll accidentally press the 8 button and it'll go off to some predetermined destination, completely away from the build, completely nauseating. The worst is when I've accidentally set the 9 key to be a destination, which I've done that before and it was a nightmare. I honestly thought that I would never be able to build again. I did manage to figure out how to undo that, and I honestly should do a video at some point on just how to undo that nightmare of a mistake, because it is like, it's actually really terrifying, especially if you're like use move objects a lot in your builds, like to have, because it'll still move the object up, but it'll also move your camera all the way, and it'll keep doing that, and it's a pain. It's really a pain. But I think this is the first time I've used this little mouse poster I'm about to use here. Like, I don't think I've ever really used it before, but I don't know, something about this office said inspirational mouse. That's exactly what we need. But yeah, I think now, after the office is done, I'm probably gonna move on to the bathroom. And the bathroom is interesting. We're coming back to that sort of Japanese inspired vibe. Like, none of this furniture really is all that Japanese inspired, but the bathroom, I kind of tried to make it that way, and I was just kind of calling back on what my exchange students what my exchange students bathroom kind of looked like, because in Japan they have a very interesting bath culture where they take a shower first and then they have a communal bath, and they do that with like bathhouses, but they also have it in the home with just a singular bath. And so, like, unless like you're like a little kid, you usually don't share that bath with somebody else. And so you just kind of like take turns, and it's really interesting. Yeah, I also feel really bad because like, not really bad, but like when they were explaining that to me, like I knew that, but my parents didn't know that, and so like they were like the most serious I've seen them. They were like, please shower before you get in that bath. Like, yeah. Anyways, so there is a separate room for the shower and the bathtub, and so that's really weird. Like, that's not even really how that works in Japan, but that's what we're going with. I don't know. It's different. It's unique. I'm a unique person. I'm a unique soul. I put a bathroom into 2 rooms, and yeah. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so, but I do like how each bathroom, like each individual one, turned out separately, but like it's the weirdest thing. Like I like how I'm just like, Japanese bath culture. No, that's just me clinging on to whatever hope I have that my layout isn't completely like crazy. Like, why is this bathroom like in the hallway? Or that doesn't make any sense. But you know, it's like off of the entryway, so who knows? Anyways, let's talk about other stuff before I completely embarrass myself. Honestly. So it was my birthday the past couple days. I turned 24, so I had some fun stories to tell. First of all being, they misspelled my name on my birthday cake. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I think that's hilarious. My boyfriend got me a tiramisu, which is amazing, and they asked him if I wanted my name on it, which was cool because I didn't even think they could do that on a tiramisu because traditionally it's topped with cocoa powder, but they left like a strip blank to write in my name. But they either ran out of room or they just, I don't know, but they didn't undo it. Like if they ran out of room, that's kind of like a conscious thing, and you're like, oh shoot, let me redo this. So they either ran out of room and then didn't care, or they ran out of room and didn't realize, or they just spelled my name wrong. But anyways, they spelled it Penelope. Penelope. They forgot the E at the end, so my new name is Penelope, guys. Like, don't make a big deal of it. It's a personal choice. I've been called that before, like as a joke. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. Once I went into a Starbucks. This was pretty recently. I tweeted about it. It was back when I was in the middle of my move, and so I was so tired that day, and I went into a Starbucks, and they asked me what my name was to put on the cup, and I was like, oh, Penelope. And the guy was like, how do you spell that? And I forgot how to spell my name, and I was like, P-E-N, oh my god, I forgot how to spell my name. And it was really loud. I said it really loud. I said it way too loud. And like, all of the baristas turned to me, and it was like one of those Starbucks that has a really big drive-through. So like there's a lot more baristas than you think there would be. And I'm just standing in the middle, and everyone's looking at me because I forgot how to spell my own name. And then like, I like just like started respelling it really fast, trying to go off of muscle memory because I could not remember how to spell my name, and so I was just like oh gosh, now I'm misspelling it, Penelope. There we go. Okay, let's move on from that. Oh gosh. But yeah, anyways, so Penelope, guys, all the way. But yeah, when one of the baristas handed me the cup, he like purposefully called me Penelope, I think, and I was just like, haha, very funny. I get it. Yeah, anyways, that wasn't my best moment. But here's this bookshelf. I don't know why, I just got really fixated on it, and I wanted to really fill it in. This is the bedroom that I decided to just go with the red, black, and white color scheme, and you know, I hope it looks nice. It doesn't match anything else in this house, but here we are. I have red, it was all inspired by that chair. I don't know, something about that like really intensely red chair I really liked, so I went with it. But now I'm working on one of the 3 kids' bedrooms, and I thought of adding a toddler bedroom, but I just didn't want to, because if you add a toddler bedroom, then you have to make sure that, you know, there's a bathtub, which I have, but then you have to make sure like there's a high chair, there's just a lot of toddler stuff. And the new toddler stuff pack is coming out soon, so I was like, we'll just sit on it. This will just have to be a kids and up type of home. Sorry. But yeah, so I did them in kind of 3 different styles. I did this one really like bright and pink and stuff, and the other one I did more like dark and kind of camo and like gamer sort of style, and then the third one is like also bright, but it's got like greens, and I love that room. I think that's the room I would want to go with, is that one. It's really cool. Oh gosh, I'm burping again. I'm so sorry. But yeah. So, back to birthday cakes. I'm so good at rambling, guys. It's like honestly an art form. Having my name misspelled on my birthday cake reminded me of another birthday. I used to really like Baskin-Robbins mint chocolate chip ice cream, because mint chocolate chip is one of my favorites, but sometimes the chocolate chips can be like, I don't really like it when they're huge. Or when they're actual like chocolate chips, if that makes any sense. I like them when they're more like chunks, but not chunks. And so the Baskin-Robbins version basically has like shredded, oh, that sounds weird, shaved chocolate in there, and so it's a different texture, and I really loved it. And so for one of my birthdays, I really wanted a Baskin-Robbins ice cream cake, and it was like custom made, and I got to pick out all the stuff, and I'm sure it was horrifically expensive. Which I feel bad about now, but like back then I had no concept of money, but you know, that's what I really wanted. And so, you know, my mom, you know, got it for me. And then when she brought it home, she put it in the fridge and not the freezer, and it melted, and it was terrible. I was so heartbroken, and like, to try and make up for it, my mom tried to get me a different ice cream cake, but there wasn't enough time to like get me a custom one. So she just went to Dairy Queen and she got me like this like vanilla ice cream cake, and I don't like vanilla ice cream, and like it was topped with different like toppings, and I especially don't like vanilla ice cream with stuff in it. Like sometimes I can do vanilla ice cream, but like vanilla ice cream with stuff in it, like it just always makes me wish that the vanilla ice cream was chocolate ice cream. Like I guess I'm kind of a chocoholic that way, but oh my goodness, that I still remember it to this day. Also, speaking of my mom, I feel like that's a running theme now. I'm just going to talk about my mom in every single speed build, but I got some new information. I went to go visit my parents last week, and I told my mom that I told you guys the story of the time when I almost drowned in a river, and she didn't know that. And so when my friend came running up to her and was like, "Penny drowned in the river," she responded, "Did she get wet?" like super like sarcastically. But I told her that I told you guys that, and she was like, "That's not what I said." And I was like, "Oh," I was expecting something, you know, she was gonna be like, no, I never said that, like I could never say that. No, what she said was, "Did she drown?" Which makes it so much better. Oh my god. Oh gosh. Sorry. I will never get over that, and so I'm gonna talk about it in all my builds now. Remember that time I almost drowned? Yeah, you guys know. You know. But yeah, here's this bedroom. It's got like sort of neon green and yellow colors, and I am in love with it. This was the room I would pick. I did this thing, which is this weird. I couldn't fit in a dresser and a nightstand, so I just put in a dresser next to the bed. That's normal for me. I grew up and I didn't have a nightstand growing up. I actually, for whatever reason, and I actually had to like petition to get a nightstand. And then once I got one, I like never used it. And the way my bedroom ended up being laid out, which by the way, if you're interested in my childhood bedroom, I did build it like a year ago. But yeah. So I used a dresser as my nightstand, and now I have a nightstand, and when I go back to my room, my childhood bedroom, I feel like such a heathen. Like, I'm like, why was I okay with this? And like, I mean, admittedly, I didn't have a cell phone back then that I slept next to, so like now I like prop a tissue box up between like my bed and the dresser, and then I rest my cell phone on that. Resourceful, I know. But yeah, so is that weird for you guys? Like, am I like completely out there for like doing this dresser thing? I don't know. But I got into clusters of potted plants in this. Like, I do this whole like thing outside that's really insignificant, and I don't really know why I do it, but it involves potted plants on the stairs. So yeah, but here's that lamp to signify that this is in fact my nightstand, apparently. Ooh, sorry, I'm like stretching. You guys should stretch with me. It feels really good. I should probably just stop the recording to stretch, but no, we're gonna marathon through this. We got this. I like placing this plumb bob above the Sims beds. It's kind of like a joke. It's like kind of meta, you know? You know what's interesting? Pauses for a really long time. What's interesting? I have a question. Can Sims see the plumb bobs? Because, and I like, you know, the obvious answer would be like, no, of course not. You like, when you change Sims, you can't see the plumb bob anymore. But hear me out. If the Sims can't see the plumb bob, then why is it in all of their art? If, like, is this something that maybe that's like the last thing they see before they die is their own plumb bob? Like, that's really morbid. But like, you know what I mean? Like, why would the Sims culture have like relatively prolific plumb bob? Like, I mean, just the bats and the vampire wallpaper, I think those have plumb bobs. You know, why would they have that if they can't see their own plumb bob? And so is it just something they can only see their own, like they look in the mirror and they can see it? Or is it something else? Like, can vampires see their own plumb bob? Because, you know, the vampires have different ones, and like now that they've introduced the whole like group system, they introduced that like way back for Get Together, you know, can everybody see that weird hexagon flying over each other's heads? Like, these are the real questions. Can Sims see their own plumb bobs? And if so, can they tell when other Sims are like super upset just off the color of the plumb bob? I'm really interested in this now, guys. Like, this is like an existential question. Like, can Sims see their own plumb bobs? Okay, let's move on. Okay. I'm working on the backyard now, which is pretty chill. Nothing too special. I will do that potted plant thing in a second where I add a whole bunch of them to the stairs, and it was kind of one of those things where I don't really know if it adds all that much to the build, but I just kind of started doing it and got obsessed with it, and so even though it took like an extra amount of time, I was just like, okay, whatever, we're doing this now. But yeah, I have another story to tell. It's my last birthday story. I am so excited because my parents got me a piano. I'm really excited. They got me a keyboard, which is a piano. I mean, come on. Some people get really snooty about that. Like, some people are like, no, a keyboard is not a piano. And I'm just kind of like, you need to calm yourself. Like, because I was a music minor, I had access to fantastic grand pianos, like concert grand pianos, like, oof, like actual gold in the piano. Like, why, I don't know why we needed gold in the piano, but we had them at my school, so, you know. But anyway, so I've had access to them, and I'm gonna call a keyboard a piano, because, like, it's a piano. Anyways, that's my little rant, but I got one, and I'm really excited. I think once I get back up to, like, into practice shape, maybe I'll record a little bit of something and put it on Twitter, probably, like, Dr. Gratis at Pernasum or something, but I'm excited. I'm really excited, and so I've been practicing it, but Yes. I actually had a panic attack when I first got it, just because like when trying to set up the stand for it, I was suddenly convinced that it was too big. The piano was too big and it was too expensive and like a whole bunch of stuff. And that's all probably true in a way, but it's okay because I got a piano and I'm going to use it and it's my baby now and I love it. Oh goodness, this is going to be a fun one to listen to. I always wonder. Anyways, Plum Bobs. Can Sims see? I might ask the Sims team that one. Like maybe Sim Guru Graham. I'll be like, can Sims see their own Plum Bobs? And then he'll probably be like, no. And I'll be like, then why all the art? Well, it's like Sims Conspiracy 2017. If Sims can't see their own Plum Bobs, then why all the art? Okay, let's move on from that. I guess I'm kind of like this. I didn't really like the landscaping of this. Like I like the fence and I like kind of the layout of the backyard. But other than that, I feel like the landscaping, I have such a hard time with modern landscaping. Because when it comes to like fantasy homes or old homes, I just like go crazy. Like the landscaping is just like really overgrown and lush. But here I'm just kind of like, it's a thing. Yeah. So anyways, but yeah. We are actually coming up on the end of this build. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Again, you can find it on the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. I would recommend you try and move objects for all my builds because I use it heavily. I should probably do like I've been thinking of doing a move objects off challenge. Maybe that'll be the build after next because I think my next build I will probably go for the house from Ponyo, Sosuke's house. Yes. Probably shouldn't talk about that too much just now, especially since we're winding up, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this build. If you did, feel free to give me a like, a comment, or subscribe. All of those things make me really happy. My crops grow, my skin becomes clear. Boy, oh boy, I wish. We recently hit 1,800 subs. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much. We actually hit that the day after my birthday, which was awesome. But yeah, again, I hope you guys are all having a really great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!